Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. In this video I want to answer the question of can you stack both the Dark Maiden's headpiece, when you get a kill you gain some action points, and the Primal boots, when you get a kill you get some action points. There has been some conflicting news going around that sometimes you can and sometimes you can't, so let's get some clarity on that and do some testing. Now why am I doing this? Well, with the upcoming new trial there will be a lot of enemies to kill. And the more often you can cast your daily power, the more damage you're gonna be dealing. Particularly on a wizard, and a lot of other DPS classes too. Apart from perhaps ranger and barbarian maybe. They don't have that impactful AoE daily powers. Unlike a wizard here, massive amounts of damage. Not that that isn't in part due to some bugs here and there. Well, if we're killing some enemies, we may as well use some gear to get back those daily powers that bit quicker so we can use even more of them, meaning we can do even more damage, right? Well, let's see. I recently suggested that you go and get these boots. And yeah, I would recommend it, particularly when starting out in that trial. Later on, you might want to get alternative boots from the master mode, the mythic ones with 5% damage in wild space, and then use the Dark Maiden's headpiece. Or should you just use the Dark Maiden's headpiece and the Primal boots? Well, they do stack. However, there's a catch. They only stack if your headpiece is legendary, giving 1% action points per kill. Then you can have the boots having 3%. So it's basically 3% versus 4%. And that might not be worth it at all. And in my opinion, it's not. You can well be better off running with the helmet here that would give 10% stats instead, like this critical strike one. Or you go and use the Dark Maiden's headpiece, but you get it upgraded to mythic, which I'm going to do. I just need to do a bit more Master Temple of the Spider, and we can get 106 more of these gems, and we can get that upgraded. And then we can grab ourselves those, again, mythic boots in the Master version for 5% damage in wild space instead of the Primal boots. So starting out, I'll run with these Primal boots. And again, like the critical strike helm here. Now the way I tested does it stack or not is simply by summoning 4 of these dummies. And there is also a bit of a cooldown to how often you can trigger these bonuses. You don't want to kill everything at exactly the same time, but in some ways it doesn't matter that much either, because the cooldown to get these to trigger is 0.1 second. So even if you cast one power like Fireball here and it goes and kills a bunch of enemies, you can end up getting multiple Executioner's Zeal procs. And you can see it stacking there again. On here you see it with Executioner's Zeal giving 30 action points and then the other one giving 10 action points. And they trigger at exactly the same time. They stack. But unfortunately, as soon as you upgrade your Dark Maiden's headpiece to give 3% per kill, it becomes a copy and paste of the Primal boots, and then it doesn't stack. So just to be aware of that, and if you really had the wiggle room with stats and such, you could get away with using both of them, getting a bit more action points, meaning you'll be able to use your daily powers even that bit more. It really comes down to how effective your daily power is and whether it's actually worth getting your daily power, let's say, a few seconds earlier than you normally would. Just keep in mind that, yes, the headpiece and the boots here with that 3% action points is a 0.1 second cooldown interval between when it can trigger. Does not mean that the power combustive action is the same. It has a cooldown of 1 second. So when using this, yeah, you even more so don't want to kill everything at once to take advantage of that. Additionally, I tested like these corrupt black ice overloads. Do they stack? And they actually do. Each one is only going to give you 10% action points, so having 2 of them you'll get a total of 20% of your action points over that 8 seconds, and then there's a 70-second cooldown. Can work if you want burst action point regeneration. I'll show you some gameplay real quick. We'll jump into one of the new heroic encounters in the new zone where you can kill waves and waves of enemies just with your daily power. Like you can see the rate at which we're gaining action points, it's kind of nuts. We can throw in Envenomed on top of that and get some even more. And by the time the next wave is going to spawn, We already have our daily power again. There we go. Stick it down in icy terrain where they're all going to get pulled, and then that wave's dead too. In content where you kill enemies like with one hit, you won't notice it as much, the benefit of having those boots or the headpiece, because of the way that they have a slight bit of a cooldown at 0.1 seconds. Here we have our daily power. The next wave is going to appear. We go ahead and use it. Yeah, daily power on the wizard, this arcane singularity is a bit nuts, and it shouldn't really work like that. And for the record, this heroic encounter is terrible. It's got that same chicken thing where you need to chase the chickens into a certain area as you'd have with the summer festival. Not a fan at all. But the other heroics are, yeah, just kill everything. Get another wave of them spawning in. Minotaur's gonna help group them. And then up goes my singularity, and yeah, they're all toast. Just love that. And you get like more than half your daily power back already. Just crazy. Pop Iron Venom there as well, that helps. Not something you'll use in the new trial, you'll want to have a debuff. We can wait till the next wave comes, and I guess we have the boss. Just need some single target powers, and then this guy is cooked. It's very doable to kill these heroics solo, just you need a decently upgraded character. So yeah, that's that. The headpiece and the boots do stack as long as the headpiece is legendary. If you upgrade it to mythic, they will no longer stack. Again, in the new trial, highly recommend either the boots or the headpiece, just for the added action point regeneration. You can cast those daily powers a bit more often. Again, it will depend on your class how much benefit you can get from it. Special thank you again to all these channel members for their added support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.